Okay, so it's 6:34. We'll call the PGPP meeting on September 9th. Alice is absent. Marisa here. Michael?
Here.
So we have a quorum.
Let me see if we have any public comment.
You do. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. This is for the next meeting. I'm sorry.
I wasn't sure if the
No,
other
that's fine.
person.
No, that's for later on. She sent it. But go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna talk for the other meeting. So I just wanted to flag that the BGPP agenda for today's meeting on the website, when you click on the link, it goes to the general meeting. And that's the kind of thing that I would like to see, that the website is an excellent resource. And so I would like to see that kind of detail
Sure.
fixed going forward. And I noticed while I was checking today's agenda that the website still has under maintenance flag across the top of it. And it feels like it's been there for a long time. So while I was thinking about the website, I just wanted to flag that, and hopefully that's going to be cleared up and we can just present a website for the public that you can present a website to the public that has all the information that's needed without that meeting. That's it. Thanks.
Okay, unfinished business. These policies from A to K. Now, my understanding at the last meeting, they were all approved, right?
They're out of committee. They're on hold in the regular meeting.
So
they were
there's no
tabled in the
action
regular
here.
Meeting, so there's
It's
no
the action for
here
the regular
for
meeting.
unfinished business
Okay.
unless they want to change them.
Yeah, they shouldn't. There shouldn't be. There shouldn't be anything that's left
Okay.
that hasn't been.
Okay. All right, and the new business, the EP.
Well, I think I would.
Oh,
I wanted to. I would move to amend that meeting room policy, as the director had shared, to strike one line in the policy, which I don't think we have printed in here. Let's see.
I might have it from before.
Yeah, no, I
Director
should
had
be
shared
in
it
here.
before, but the line. Give me just a moment.
there's a meeting room policy.
Yeah, under the exclusions, I move to amend the meeting room policy to strike the line under exclusions of activities that advocate the election or defeat of a particular candidate or candidates for public office, or that advocate affirmative or negative votes concerning any public proposition.
Yeah, and let me just make a comment on this, and you can decide however you want. But the election code in Illinois prevents the use of any public resources to support any particular candidate or proposition. So the reason why we have recommended that to be included in the policy is that we take a very conservative view of what resources means, and offering someone a place to meet, including payment for utilities for this, for whatever, for the room during that time, can potentially, again, there's no existing case law on this or any black law guidance on this, but a conservative reading of the election code wherein that a unit of local government is not permitted to use any of its resources in support of a particular proposition or political candidate. We have interpreted that and recommended to our clients that they not host events. And I use host loosely because, of course, we wouldn't mean that we were endorsing any political candidate, but allowing them to take place here could be seen as giving that particular candidate or proposition resources. So that's the reasoning behind it, but you can have any discussion you like.
Is that something that, since it's already in the regular meeting and it's been tabled, that we should discuss in the regular meeting?
Well, it was my understanding that all of these policies had been advanced out of committee.
Yes.
So I don't.
So we'd have to send it back to committee.
Right. So you'd have
For them to
so you'd
rework
have
it.
to send it back to committee out of the general board meeting if you wanted it to be reworked. Of course, we can make recommendations from this committee at this point in time that then the general board can consider when they consider whether to send it back or not. So if you want to recommend, so you're recommending that
Yeah.
that language be stricken.
Mhm.
So then when we get to the regular board meeting, we'd have to kick it back for that
Yeah.
change.
So we go into discussion, and if you need to, we can move to go back to
Mhm.
committee or make the adjustment there.
Yeah.
If everybody.
Yeah,
agrees.
yeah, of course. That's the other option, is to actually make the adjustment.
Make the adjustment
Just on the
there.
fly in the general meeting.
Okay.
So we're good?
So there's no motions on the unfinished business because it's
Okay.
already out.
So then under new business, the EPPL political campaign policy, the following for informational purposes and only will be used as training tool. So then that's in the packet, right?
Right, it's about
You-
fifth or
You
sixth
need to
page
make a
down.
motion to accept the campaign policy as presented on the packet, then you can discuss it and decide if it goes out of committee.
Okay. Well, make a motion that we table it until we have the full committee?
I'll make a motion to accept it as presented for us to discuss.
All right, I'll make a motion as accepted for us.
And I'll
to discuss.
second.
And a vote? Take a vote?
And then any discussion.
Well, discussion first.
Oh, sure, discussion on.
Okay, hold on. Roll call. Okay. Okay. Well, it's for discussion, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
So, if I may, the patron behavior and code of conduct policy that we have currently states that soliciting, selling, campaigning, petitioning, or distributing materials or goods in the library entryways or grounds unless approved by the library director or with a valid permit issued by the village. So that being said, in our existing policy, I don't see a need for this additional political campaign policy. And it also refers to the meeting room policy in a confusing way that it says political events are permitted as outlined in the meeting room policy, which then excludes all political meetings from taking place.
Well, I mean, this just clarifies that we don't have political campaign. I mean, just an added to them.
This
The-
is
the-
a new one that I haven't reviewed yet.
Right. The purpose of this was to define the multiple policies into one policy. And I would agree with the meeting room use. It defers back to always to the meeting room policy.
So
Which
basically,
currently has no campaigning in.
we don't need this policy because we have the meeting room policy. It's like an
That-
addition.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. And the patron
It's
behavior.
redundant.
It's redundant at best.
Because we have the patron behavior and the meeting room
Mhm.
policy. Which I've read 50 million times already.
Madam Chair?
So,
Um,
if we're not using this policy, then we don't have to vote on it or anything.
Well,
you don't, we can just let it die. But, so what else was the purpose? Was it to add some more
Mhm.
clarity in other areas that
Yeah.
the other ones don't
That
have?
was my intent, clarity.
Okay. And so maybe we just, when it comes around to the other one, maybe we boost those up? Or we do kind of a reconciliation of what you're looking for here in the others? And/or get legal's thought on having a separate one? Before you bring it back to committee meeting? Does that seem?
Yeah, because the meeting doesn't address prohibitive activities or anything.
The
It
meeting
do- it
room
does.
policy?
Yeah,
it does.
not to this, yeah, it does, but campaigning and so forth, I just thought this, I further explained it.
Well, I would think we'd want to just send it back to lawyer
Yeah,
first, see
send
if
it back.
it makes sense,
She
you know,
has it,
to
and,
add- or if we need it.
Sure, I
It's
have not,
covered.
I don't think I've seen any of these new ones.
Yeah. That's the only
well, it's only one new one.
Oh, yeah, okay.
so,
Yeah,
Yeah.
just one new one.
so it sounds like you're gonna,
So
are you guys
I'm
gonna?
happy
And I,
to
well, I
review
want to
it.
clarify too, that if we're sending it to the attorney for review, I feel like that's what we did for the other ones before, but then we don't see them again or have it, then it's, like, this was the opportunity to make a, other than a legal change.
Well,
You know, once we send it to the, like, for the meeting room policy, for example, I had said the same thing months ago about wanting to change that particular aspect of the policy. But then we were gonna have the legal review it, which makes sense. But then I was understanding it to be, we would then have more discussion in committee. So I just want to see, if we are agreeing, if we're voting to send this for a legal review, is the next step then it's presented to the full board? Or is the next step that it's,
Well, let me
back to
clarify what
committee.
happened at the time.
Yeah.
So the last time that there was a batch that was sent to me for review, it was actually advanced out of committee pending my review.
Okay.
So it was sent to the general board, then I did the review and returned them to the director. But they weren't held back pending that review. So if you'd like to keep them in committee pending that, then that's fine, then make that motion. But at the
Okay.
time, what was done was it was advanced pending my review. So it was sort of like, we're pushing it forward, you can review and give it back, which did occur. And then they were passed at the general meeting subsequent to that.
okay, yeah, I just want to understand that process.
Yeah.
So we're gonna send it to the lawyer for review.
Well, I think the motion on the table is to accept as, or is to, move
Get
as
rid of it.
accepted, but now you can amend the motion to table pending lawyer review
Okay,
and review whether it's needed, and then present it back to you, and then you guys can decide. It just dies in committee and never makes it out.
okay. So we amend the motion to table to lawyer review, and then it'll come back to committee, and then we can decide.
If the motion passes.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
If the motion passes, then that's what will happen.
Okay. So I call the question. Okay, Mike.
Well, did you get a second for?
Oh, okay,
for them
I'll
to
second.
table.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You
I'm not used to
amended the
just being
motion.
two people. The seconding my own thing. All right, I'll second, and then I call, right?
No.
No, you amended the
first.
motion. He's got to see if he seconds it.
Oh, okay, I amended the motion, I'm sorry.
I'm not going to second it.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
So then, did she call the question on the current
Yeah, she calls the question on the original
to
motion.
accept as
Which was the original motion was just to accept it.
as presented?
Yeah.
So then you can let it go ahead. So then call the question on that.
okay.
And then you can vote.
So accept it as presented.
No.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's,
And then what are you going to vote? Nay.
nay,
Because you
no.
want it.
Because
Done.
that's
do
why
it,
I
do what
want-
you think.
That's
Yeah.
why I want, okay, that's why I wanted to go to, okay, no.
And then one absent.
So, motion doesn't carry.
Correct.
Okay, that's why I wanted
So
to.
as of now, I will not be reviewing this one.
Okay.
Just to
Right.
clarify.
Unless Mike sends it
Unless
to
it's
you,
right.
Right.
Unless it's
you know,
separately
and he wants you to
current,
take a
but
look
yes.
at it before he sends it to committee again.
Okay. So is that the only other one we have, or no?
That is the only new business for approval.
Okay, so then I guess we adjourn the meeting.
No?
I think maybe
Scott.
Mike wants to share.
Oh, you want us to do something else?
Yeah, yeah. I just listed a group of papers that I have written, and it's part of my quest that to teach the librarians how a library works. So I want to clearly define a lot of things that they should know and need to know. So understanding how the village of Elmwood Park funds the library, and that includes the tax levy. So I've written on each one of these a paper, and they're all ready to be reviewed by staff. And the plan is now to go through I have a staff meeting weekly, and we have approximately anywhere from 8 to 12 people attending, and we'll review 2 or 3 policies what we can at the meeting. And what my plan is to do is to assign individual to each policy to explain to staff. And so over the next week, over the next month or two, that's what we'll be going through. And right now, the important ones I want to bring out. On item I, how to handle questions from difficult patrons. This one was written up with 10 scenarios and with basic how to handle the situation and how do you respond in the situation. So I'm looking forward to going through staff on that one. The important one that we need to know here again is going back to H, and that's records, retention, and disposable guidelines. I want to make sure that we clearly understand that since we've had problems with that in the past. Another one important to me, and I will be reviewing this, is developing problem skills, recognizing the problem. So this is the ability for staff to understand dissecting of a problem, the differences from causes and effects. And I have, again, scenarios that happen within the village that we will discuss, and then we'll come back with a few problems that we could recognize and go through. You know, identify
Yeah.
them and see what we come with. Not all problems can be solved, but we want to at least define what the problem is
Sounds good.
and create an action plan, and it goes back to the strategic plan, the SWOT analysis, and so forth. All of that comes right back. So that's the plan.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Now we can call adjourn the meeting, right? Do we have any other business? Okay, so,
I'll move to adjourn.
okay, I'll second. So it's 6:50. 51. So meeting's adjourned.
meeting for the Elmwood Park Public Library Board of Trustees for September 9th, 2024, 7:30 PM, actually 7:31. Account balances, can you call the roll, Madam Secretary?
Yes, trustee Monahan,
Here?
trustee Gordon,
Here.
trustee Narayan,
Here.
trustee Santangelo,
Here.
trustee Belinda's here, trustee Fosco,
Here.
trustee Pesco.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Awesome. Our account balances as of this date is in the General Fund Wind Trust Bank, we have $331,105.21. That's actually as of September 6th. Also as of September 6th, the total gift fund balance stands at $16,730.54. The total building fund is at $232,696.69. And the total interest-bearing account, $600,676.30. Also, as of September 6th, the total cash balance is $1,183,208.74. The general fund year-to-date expenditures for 24-25 stand at $831,610.87. On our consent agenda tonight, we have the approval of the August 2024 board meeting minutes, the approval of payroll for September 2024, the approval of medical insurance for October 2024, the acknowledgement of the treasurer's report, as well as the approval of the IMRF check for October 24, as well as the approval of general fund disbursements for September 2024. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented tonight? Motion by trustee Narayan. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion by trustee Gordon, seconded. Do we have any discussion? Corrections to the minutes or anything? All right, Madam Secretary, would you call the question?
Okay, trustee Monahan,
Yes.
trustee Gordon,
Yes.
trustee Narayan, trustee Santangelo,
Yes.
trustee Belinda's yes, trustee Fosco,
Yes.
trustee Pesco.
Yes.
That motion carries.
Awesome. Any correspondence for us, Madam Secretary?
I do not have any.
Awesome. Okay, public participation. I think we're gonna go in reverse order, so, Jack, you wanna say a few words?
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jack Bauer. My family and I live on the 1600 block of 77th Avenue. I see on tonight's agenda under new business reads discussion and consideration of the employment contract of the executive director for fiscal year 2024 to 2027. To me, this suggests that you are considering offering Director Consiglio a guarantee of employment through the end of 2027. As you discuss the prospect of giving Director Consiglio a 3.5-year guarantee of employment contract, I hope you consider some questions. First, the director is the person responsible for carrying out the board's vision, will, and policies. By entering into a contract that gives up your ability to make leadership changes if necessary, what ability will you have to ensure the director remains accountable? A contract like this removes the leverage you need to hold someone responsible for their performance. Second, when an employee knows their job is secure, regardless of how hard they do or do not work, or how well they align with your goals, the motivation to stay committed to your priorities gets lost. What benefit is there to Elmwood Park taxpayers to have an employee who can't be fired? Accountability is what ensures things stay on track, and this contract would severely weaken that. Have you considered the message that this sends to both the director and the community? Finally, you were elected to ensure that the library remains responsive to the residents of Elmwood Park and to act as responsible stewards of taxpayer funds. By signing away your ability to make leadership changes, you sacrifice one of your key responsibilities. Frankly, approving a contract like this could be seen as neglecting your duty as trustees. The proposed contract extends beyond the term of every current board member, effectively binding future trustees to decisions that they had no part in. Your role is to ensure the library director remains accountable to both the board and the public, and this contract jeopardizes that accountability. I understand that you may like the man and support his work, but your primary responsibility is to the residents of Elmwood Park. What about Director Consiglio's work calls for a contract that guarantees his position? This comes alongside the decision to award him a $32,000 raise. My final question is simple. What's in it for the taxpayers of Elmwood Park? How does this benefit them? Please forgive me if I'm misunderstanding what is outlined on tonight's agenda. I truly hope that I am, in fact, misunderstanding it. Thank you.
Thanks for your feedback, Jack.
Sure.
Meredith?
Hi, my name's Meredith Zanani. I had notes about the director's contract on the agenda. I don't want to duplicate what Jack just said. I just wanted to add that the Board of Directors bylaws states in Article 7 that the library director is employed and works at the board's discretion. And I would hope that if the board is considering entering into a contract, that it would not be one that would eliminate the board's discretion and remove the general position that employees in the state of Illinois are at-will employees. With regards to compensation, I have no objection to the proposed $7,000 increase to the director's salary that I assume is consistent with cost of living and other pay increases to the library staff, but I am concerned about the additional $25,000 increase that is proposed. Presumably, some of the director's salary already accounts for some time spent working on business management, finance, and HR support, which is what is listed as the tasks associated with that $25,000 increase. To the extent that the director is spending more time on these tasks than is accounted for in his salary, I wonder why. I think during the BGPP meeting earlier, the director spoke about strategic things and papers that he has prepared in order to educate his staff, and that seems the appropriate use of his time, not these kinds of business management, finance, and HR support roles. I also think it is important for optics, if nothing else, to make sure that there are finance tasks handled by multiple people so that there are appropriate checks on any one person's work and that there's no appearance of impropriety. I am not suggesting that there has been any impropriety or would be. I just think it is prudent for the board and director to avoid creating a situation that could be misconstrued. Thank you.
Thanks, Meredith. Jessica?
Whoa. I don't think we thought this through with the microphone. There we go.
Precariously balanced.
Precariously balanced. Can I move this so I can address everyone? Is that okay? I would love to.
Carry the microphone around.
No, I'm scared I'll drop it. Yes. Good evening, everyone. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Francesca, and I'm the Youth Services Department Head here at the Elmwood Park Public Library. With great pride and gratitude, we gather here today to honor and express our heartfelt appreciation to the Elmwood Park Public Library Board. Your unwavering dedication, vision, and leadership have been integral to the library's success in serving our community with excellence, innovation, and inclusivity. Today, we acknowledge the new chapter this library has created and the future we want our library to be. I can confidently say that the entire staff here at the Elmwood Park Public Library is entirely behind this Board of Trustees. We are thankful and privileged to work for this library where we have your full support and trust to do what's best for our community. Your leadership has brought about tangible change. The library's fiscal year 2022 to 23 programming analysis and the fiscal year 2023-24 results show just how significant those changes are. The total number of programs offered has increased by an impressive 64.4% from 481 programs in fiscal year 22-23 to 810 in fiscal year 23-24. This includes a 30.1 increase in active programs and a remarkable 139.2% increase in passive programs. Attendance for active programs has surged by 42% with adult programs, seeing a 33% rise. Mid-kid programs growing by 39.7%, and kids programs experiencing a dramatic 387.7% increase.
Your forward-thinking approach and dedication to engaging the community has been instrumental in these successes. I want to highlight that this board's ability to recognize and adapt to changes, like the natural shift of babies moving to the kids category, which accounts for the 63.1% drop in baby program attendance, shows understanding of our patrons and their needs. I want to acknowledge the way all the village departments support one another. We are all here to serve this community, and we are part of the village together hand in hand. And that is what makes our library stronger. I want to also thank our incredible team of staff members. Without every single one of you, our library would not be the success it is today. Personally, I could not have imagined a better team of youth services staff to support this community. The way we come together in programming ideas, complement one another, and trust each other is unlike any department I have been in. I feel enormously grateful that we can not only work with one another in a professional capacity, but also call one another friends. Without the circulation department's hard work at doing several things behind the scenes, our library would not function. They are the face of our library, and I want to thank them for their amazing work. With the support of the trustees, our adult services department has flourished with more new and exciting programs. It is a pleasure to collaborate and acknowledge the hard work and dedication of the adult services department. The Board of Trustees' support of our programs such as Latino Family Night, American Girl Doll Book Club, our contribution to the Illinois Veterans History Project, and the historical program on the Eastland disaster shows that this board is committed to providing diverse, meaningful experiences for all of Elmwood Park. It reflects the type of inclusive, innovative programming that would not be possible without our staff, our director, Michael Consiglio, and your strategic guidance. On behalf of the entire staff and the residents of Elmwood Park, I want to extend my deepest thanks to every board member of this incredible board. Your efforts are often unseen and unsung, but tonight we hope to shine light on your work and the positive impact you've made. Thank you for your support and vision and for always meeting the community's needs. We will continue to create, innovate, and serve with excellence. Here's to the Elmwood Park Public Library Board. Your leadership makes everything possible. Thank you and enjoy some pizza.
Thank you. Thank you very much for those kind words. Anything else? Very much, and yeah, please help yourself to some pizza.
I'm comfy. Just like staring at
All right,
these.
director's
Chocolate.
report. You have the floor, Director Consiglio.
Okay.
Yeah, I have one.
All right, in your packet that I sent out, you should have a book on programming data and a community survey results, which I detailed out and given you copies of the comments and the data. If there's anybody that has any questions, you can call me, come by, and I'll give you any answers in detail that you might need. One of the things, again, I had talked about the staff day training topics, which I've written. I've talked about it in the BGP meeting. But I've come back with a group of documents that I want to review with staff and bring them up on board on how a library works. The other thing I want to talk about is I'm bringing in, I want to bring in next month Mike Cashman, and he's going to review the backup for all our paradigms on our network. It's important for us to make sure that our network is fully operable, and we also are going to use them for forensic audits that we need to get done and things that have gone in the past. I need to get access to data records that I don't have access now, and it's everything prior to fiscal year 22. And that's all that I have.
Awesome. Yep. Did go over. If you have any questions for Director Consiglio, please see him after the meeting. Again, you're encouraged to ask him all the questions when you get the board packet prior to the meeting as well. All right, Building Committee, I don't think, is there an update from the Building Committee? Okay. Awesome. Bylaws, Goals, Policy, Personnel Committee, although the chair was not at the meeting today, so Marisa, you want to give the quick update?
Yes, the policies that were approved are in the packet, and the last month, and the only policy discussed today was the political campaign policy, which was scratched, and so we're gonna do nothing.
Awesome.
Because the information's already in the room policy, and
Okay. Thanks, Trustee Santangelo. Trustee Fosco, the update from the Finance Committee?
Nothing, move forward.
All right. Moving on to unfinished business, do I have a motion to accept the meeting room policy as presented in the board packet and previously before going to the lawyer for changes?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by trustee Santangelo, do I have a second? Seconded by trustee Narayan. Any discussion?
So here's where I would move to amend the meeting room policy to strike a line under the exclusions section that reads, beginning with activities that advocate the election or defeat of a particular candidate or candidates for public office, or that advocate affirmative or negative votes concerning any public proposition.
So trustee Monahan is moving to change the policy by striking a line. Any other discussion on that? I'll start the discussion. I think the line needs to stay because I think we have a liability if we start allowing the room to be used for political purposes, because then whoever's scheduling that room, they could be accused of giving it to one group over another in the future. I don't think we should be allowing political type meetings here. Yeah, there's plenty of space in the rest of the village for that.
I don't think we need to scratch it either. Plus, from what I heard before, legally, we have to have it in there, right, Dan?
It's our legal advice that the Illinois Election Code prevents municipal government from offering support or resources to the election of any one particular political candidate or for one proposition, one side or the other of the proposition. So we have taken, generally our firm has taken a conservative reading of that to include offering meeting space as the offering of resources. Even though the library would not technically be the host, because you're physically, maintaining the room, offering the room, paying for the utilities and other things. Although there is not case law that indicates that would be considered support, under an argument it could be considered support. So our legal advice has been to keep it on.
Any other comments?
Yeah, and if I may, in my personal experience, I've worked at 4 public libraries in Cook and DuPage County. None of them have excluded political activity from taking place in a meeting room. In fact, it's been commonplace in my experience at all of those libraries for such events to take place. You do mention that there is not any case law to defend the conservative viewpoint that it would not be legally, that would not be a good idea for us to do. In fact, I think there is case law on the other side of people suing libraries for not being allowed to use meeting rooms because as a limited public forum, usually policies will state that they are content neutral. So we're not asking what the topic of it is as long as you're agreeing that it's not a social or other exclusions that we have. And furthermore, Article 6 of the Library Bill of Rights, which I think most libraries refer to when crafting meeting room policies, do say it's libraries which make meeting rooms available to the public they serve should make such facilities available on an equitable basis, regardless of the beliefs or affiliations of individuals or groups requesting their use. Libraries do not advocate for or endorse the viewpoints expressed in meetings by meeting room users, just as they do not endorse the viewpoints of works in their collections. The presence and activities of some groups in public spaces, while constitutionally protected, can cause fear and discomfort in some library users or staff. But libraries should adopt and enforce user behavior policies that protect library users and staff from harassment while maintaining their historic support for the freedom of speech. And I think our current code of conduct behavior does explicitly prohibit harassing behavior, distributing petitions on library property, anything like that. Really, what this, scratching that line would just say, if the Cook County Democrats want to have some meeting in here, if the Leiden Township Republicans want to have a meeting, we just say, yeah, do your thing. We're not here to say you can't talk about X topic in this room outside of the library sponsorship.
I just want to clarify that the policy as drafted would not prevent the Cook County Democrats or the Leiden Township Democrats or any, it doesn't prevent political activity. It prevents, again, the language in the election code, which is barred, which is the advocacy of a particular candidate. So for example, a candidate forum could take place if all candidates were invited. But a specific candidate, like Ann Skrobsky for library trustee, that's the only event that would be prohibited, as well as if there was a referendum question on the ballot, one side of the referendum question on the ballot cannot have the meeting room as opposed to the other side. So that does not bar all political activities or usages. I just wanted to clarify that. Cook County Democrats would be welcome, Lyon Township Democrats would be welcome, Cook County Republicans would be welcome. It's only the particular candidate or the advocacy for the side, and that's because that's permitted.
Any other discussion on that?
I tend to agree with council.
Okay, then I call the question. You want to call the roll on that one?
Yes. Trustee Monahan?
Are we on the as it is?
On the as is.
No.
Trustee Gordon?
Yeah.
Trustee Naraya?
Yes.
Trustee Santangelo?
Yes.
Trustee Belinda's yes. Trustee Fosco?
Yes.
Trustee Pesco?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Do I have a motion to accept the 3D printer usage policy as presented in the board packet?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by trustee
I second.
Santangelo, seconded by trustee Belendis. Any discussion on that one? We'll discuss these ones too. All right, you want to call the question on that one,
See the three.
Madam Secretary?
Trustee Monahan?
Yes.
Trustee Gordon?
Yes.
Trustee Narayan?
Yes.
Trustee Santangelo?
Yes.
Trustee Belinda's yes. Trustee Fosco?
Yes.
Trustee Pesco?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Do I have a motion to accept the circulation policy as presented in your board packet?
I'll make the motion.
By trustee Santangelo, second. Seconded by trustee Narayan. Any discussion on that one? All right, I'm gonna call the question on that one.
Trustee Monahan?
Yes.
Trustee Gordon?
Yes.
Trustee Narayan? Trustee Santangelo?
Yes.
Trustee Belinda's yes. Trustee Fosco?
Yes.
Trustee Pesco?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, do I have a motion to accept the library donations and partnership policy as presented?
A motion.
Motion by trustee Belendis. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Trustee Santangelo, second. Any discussion on that one? All right, call the question.
Trustee Monahan?
Yes.
Trustee Gordon?
Yes.
Trustee Narayan? Trustee Santangelo?
Oh, okay, sorry. Yes.
Trustee Belinda's yes. Trustee Fosco?
Yes.
Trustee Pesco?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Do I have a motion to accept the exhibit policy as presented in your board packet?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by trustee Santangelo. Do I have a second?
Second.
Trustee Belendis. Any discussion? Please call.
Trustee Monahan?
Yes.
Trustee Gordon?
Yes.
Trustee Narayan?
Yes.
Trustee Santangelo?
Yes.
Trustee Belinda's yes. Trustee Fosco?
Yes.
Trustee Pesco?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, do I have a motion to accept the community information and bulletin policy as presented? Presented.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by trustee Santangelo. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by trustee Belendis. Any discussion? Call the question.
Trustee Monahan?
Yes.
Trustee Gordon?
Yes.
Trustee Narayan?
Yes.
Trustee Santangelo?
Yes.
Trustee Belinda's yes. Trustee Fosco?
Yes.
Trustee Pesco?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Do I have a motion to accept the in-house laptop use policy as presented?
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Narayan. Second
I'll second.
by trustee Belendis. Any discussion on that one? All right, call it.
Trustee Monahan?
Yes.
Trustee Gordon?
Yes.
Trustee Narayan? Trustee Santangelo?
Yes.
Trustee Belinda's yes. Trustee Fosco?
Yes.
Trustee Pesco?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Madam Secretary, your hand's gonna be tired by the time we're done with this. Do I have a motion to accept the security camera policy as presented?
So moved.
By trustee Bosco. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by trustee Santangelo. Any discussion on that one? All right, call the question.
Okay, Trustee Monahan?
Yes.
Trustee Gordon?
Yes.
Trustee Narayan? Trustee Santangelo?
Yes.
Trustee Belinda's yes. Trustee Fosco?
Yes.
Trustee Pesco?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Do you have a motion to accept the study room policy as presented in your board packet?
I'll make the motion.
By trustee Santangelo. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by trustee Belendis. Any discussion on that one? All right, call the question.
Trustee Monahan?
Yes.
Trustee Gordon?
Yeah.
Trustee Narayan? Trustee Santangelo?
Yes.
Trustee Belendis, yes. Fosco?
Yes.
Trustee Pesco?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Do you have a motion to accept the program policy as previously discussed?
So moved.
By trustee Fosco. Second?
Also.
Seconded by trustee Narayan. You beat you just a little bit.
Okay.
Any discussion on that one?
I didn't hear it.
All right, call the question.
Trustee Monahan?
Yes.
Trustee Gordon?
Yeah.
Trustee Narayan? Trustee Santangelo?
Yes.
Trustee Belendis, yes. Trustee Fosco?
Yes.
Trustee Pesco?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Awesome. Being there no unfinished business, moving on to new business. As part of the discussion consideration of employment contract for executive director for 2024-27, under 5 ILCS 120/2C1 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act, the board will enter a closed session to discuss the consideration of library executive director's employment contract. Do I have a motion for such?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Fosco. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by trustee Santangelo. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we are adjourned for executive session.